The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN. And make sure that you tune in other hours of the day to check us out at TFNN.mobi from your mobile phone. Let's check out where the markets are at right now. We got the S&P is up 8 points right now and oscillating a bit there. We got the Nasdaq down 3.75. We got the Dow is currently up 119. So Dow, the clear leader of the day, it has just not wanted to back down. We got the Russell is down 3.5 points. We got gold is currently up 9. Silver up about 0.8% there, about the same as gold on a percent basis. And we have copper down 0.8%. Oil is up $1.66. A nice move on oil. We got natural gas is currently up 1.3%. With corn currently down a mere $3 and soybeans up only $2.75 right now compared to yesterday's settlement price. We got the euro dollar up 49 pips, the pound dollar up 46. Aussie dollar is currently up 15 with a euro yen up 70, dollar yen up 14, pound yen up 51, dollar CAD down 37, along with dollar franc is currently down 25 pips on the day. So the dollar experiencing a lot of weakness right there across pretty much everything except for showing a little strength against the yen. So that gets you caught up on where the market is currently. And now let's take you to the news. Let's talk about what's coming up because we have some cool trades coming up. I'm going to be out for a couple days, so I want to make sure you have your news plan, you're ready to go, and you can take advantage of these trades. So I want to make sure you have this data, okay? And we'll do a quick wrap, of course, last night. And this morning we'll look at a few of the different potentials there. But really there wasn't anything major. I was just going over last night and today. Let me see here. Put this up here on for you. And on that, we basically just had some small, a lot of times they'll be rated at high impact by the news ratings or whatever, but they're really not that high of an impact as far as being a really tradable trade, such as last night we had 7:30, we had the Aussie dollar trade balance report. You know what? You're going to get some volatility on it. How much volatility? 15, 20 ticks. Nothing that major. So not really one of those big, news announcements to trade on. But, did have a little volatility, got a little up, a little down there. Trade balance was positive for the Aussie overall, so it shot up, did a pullback, and then ran back on up. End of the day there, hit 0.5, 0.7, starting to bounce on back down, moving down towards settlement. So that was really all we had on the Aussie last night. The yen had their monetary policy meeting minutes. Those were released last night at 6:50. Again, none of that's really an unknown, so it shouldn't have a massive impact on the market. But, you can see right here, this was not the monetary policy meeting minutes, by the way. But the monetary policy meeting minutes came out at 6:50. So, just right over here, really little to no impact. But that big move came in a little later. And we saw this really across a lot of the currencies all at the exact same time. Just as, different news things, different orders firing off. A lot of ECB, I saw a lot of ECB news coming out as well right at that time. People talking about the upcoming European press conference and their interest rates and what they're going to do and all that. And so ECB change unlikely, et cetera, just all these other different sources coming out. But anyways, it's important to know that, be aware of that. And don't forget, you can trade at night on some of these guys right here, and you can get some good trades. You go and you look at that. That was a massive move right there, 30 pips or so. And you can go in, you can check out the 7 o'clock and the 11 o'clock. There's even 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. binaries. So if you're a nighttime trader, you can go in and start looking at some of those, and they'll be really cheap. So I'm not such a big person on premium collection at the 7 and 11 o'clock, but I know some traders that are. Now, you have to go in like an hour before to really do premium collection on them. But I'll go and I'll do some really just low-cost trend trading. And, you can get some great trades on for just extremely low cost. And let's see here. We'll go and let's check out what else we have coming up that we can, like I said, keep on the list. Early this morning, out of Britain. So let's pull up the pound dollar. We had the manufacturing production report. That report released at 4:30. Not usually our, biggest mover, so it wasn't like the big highlight on the list. Let's see, what did we get out of this? Got a decent move. We got 58 pips. So that's a little, out of the norm on that one. Usually we're not expecting that big of a move. And it came in at expectations on top of that. So really, more of a surprise than anything on that to get, that kind of move on a at expectation release right there that early in the morning. But anyway, so it's one of those ones that, I put on the list as like, hey, be aware of it. Usually a 20 to 30 pip move. In this case, we got even more than that. Now, that's high to low. If we take like right before the news, okay, and we go down to the low, we're going to get about 43 pips. That was the big move right there. And then right on up here to the high, we get about 15. So we got some, we got a decent move on it. But again, it's not, historically, it's not been the most consistent big mover. And really, at 43 pips is not a massive move. As far as the downside, it would have been hard to make that be a take-profit style trade. Now, one thing to notice on this, though, check this out. This would have been a trade to look at if you were trading this early this morning or, being on the lookout for that announcement. Check out the volume spike, okay? We got the news. It comes out. This is the news bar, 4:30, okay? Right there, boom, spikes way down, flies up, and then chills out right there. And look at that. I mean, that's a perfect volume spike. A volume spike being where the volume bar is more than double the bar on both sides. And that's just a nice reversal play right off that volume spike. So sort of a pretty cool play there, last night, really early this morning. So to be upon what your schedule's like. And, it's counter trend. You can, the thing's flying up. You got a trend, you do have a big pullback, but you still got a trend going on. So I'm always looking for that counter trend on the volume spike. So you need some sort of trend in progress. And you had one. So pretty cool trade right there. And thought I'd point out to you this, to try to get you to start seeing these trades when they occur. Now, tonight we got I was on the CAD. We can go over the CAD. We had building permits. We had IVPMI. So we can check that out as well to sort of look at the impact on those reports. Building permits came out at 8:30. Really didn't expect much off of that. It was really bad for the CAD, the report that came out. But you really saw almost like no impact at all. Look at this. It actually went up a little bit before it finally came on down this morning at 10. So, very little impact on the building permits, despite being rated high as a high impact by most Forex calendars. Not a real big impact. IVPMI came out at 10, however. That one was definitely a big move. Came out at 62.8 on an expectation of 54.7. So I was pretty shocked to see that big of a move on that. But hey, we got some good moves going, so that's good news for us because we got some other big stuff coming out. But again, wasn't a massive move, okay? But it's a bigger than normal move. And if you go, right there, low to high, about 30 pips. So it's not a tradable straddle strangle type trade, but still, a nice little spike off of that. And again, check out the volume spike. We got volume low, volume high, volume spike off a deviation, one deviation line. This bar breaks the high. Got a nice premium collection trade. So pretty sweet. Love these volume spike reversal trades, especially off one deviation. Notice that came right down on the dollar CAD to the one deviation line and then just chilled out. So, working perfectly right there. Now, tonight, we're going to have the employment change and unemployment rate coming on out of the Aussie dollar at 7:30. So expect some volatility on that. Again, usually not the biggest market mover unless way off from expectations, okay? And so just I want you to, not be looking at that as like a big straddle strangle trade, but be ready. And let's see here. Let's look over at tomorrow. We're going to have our pound bank rate purchase facility and statement. Okay. And then the euro will have its minimum bid rate, and then Europe will have its press conference. The U.S. will have its advanced GDP. So there's a lot coming out tomorrow morning. And it's one of those mornings where you want to get up early. Okay? Anyway, so what are the stats on that? These are there's basically 3 big news trades this week. And these are the ones, that you want to be ready for. Okay? So one of those is you're going to have the British rate statement coming out. And let's see here. That statement comes out right there at 7. So we want to go in and let me pull up the stats for you on the British rate statement. Okay. We're looking at a 90 pip move on the pound yen, about an 85 pip move on the pound dollar, with an 80% probability of hitting 50 pips or more. Meaning, out of the last 2 years, 80% of the time, it has at least moved 50 pips. But the average range, high to low, after the news, has been 85 on pound dollar and 90 pips on pound yen. That puts your risk right about $50 as a max risk on either side to do a one-to-one trade. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you definitely want to go back and review some of the archives. I've walked through some of these in a lot of detail for you. But to give you a summary, let's go in here, and what I'll do is I'll pull up the spread scanner to walk through this with you. If you don't have a Nadex account, just hop over to TFNN.com, click on the Nadex banner over on the right side. So right here, click on this, go to Trading, Demo Trading Account. To get a live account, click on Create Account, and it takes about 5 minutes to go from start to funded. Okay? As soon as you do that, then the next thing is you're going to want to get access to the scanner to help you easily find these trades, because what we're going to be looking at is usually what I'm looking for a spread straddle. Okay? And if I'm looking for a spread straddle, then I'm going to have to find ones that have the same floor and ceiling whenever I do this. So let's look at what that would look like and sort of walk through it step by step. So that way, ideally, you're ready to at least demo. If maybe by now you're ready to do these live when the news comes out tomorrow morning. And like I said, there's 3 big news announcements this week that could potentially be some really, really good trades for you. So when you pull up the scanner, then you're going to select the potential instrument. So go to the spread scanner, and I'll go in here and I'll put, say $100, and I'll put 1-to-1. This is if I'm doing a straddle trade, okay? So, live or demo, all right? And then direction, obviously both, because we're doing a straddle. We're going both directions. So really also does 100 and 1 right there. And then if I'm doing the pound, I'm going to choose pound dollar and pound yen. Now, and I'll unselect every other instrument. What this is going to let me do is now focus on the instruments that I can do my straddle on for this news trade. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail right after this break.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at
727-445-1044. All right, folks, we'll come back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And what we're looking at right now is looking at a straddle on pound dollar, pound yen. So we put $100 and we put a 1-to-1 risk reward here on the spread scanner. And then we're going to go down, okay? And we're going to try to find a straddle. A straddle is where the ceiling and floor usually, okay? Now this will be a little caveat I'll throw into today's show. Usually the ceiling and the floor are the exact same. Why would I say usually? Well, you might find a case where it's better not to have the exact same. So maybe we can find one and throw you for a loop today, right? So like right there, okay, check that out. That's still a straddle, okay? I mean, it's, you know, you could call it, I guess, a strangled straddle, whatever you want to do. But, you know, the floor and the ceiling are a little bit off. The floor on the bot one is 158.70 for the pound yen, and the ceiling's 158.50. The risk is $10 on the trade. Now, it has to move quite a bit, okay, to be profitable, but if you're expecting an 80-pip move, who cares? All right, I don't care if it has to move 12 pips or 20 pips or whatever. I'm expecting the thing to move 80. So if it moves 80 and it's got to move 22 to be break even, okay, well, that'd make 60, lose 12 on the other side. I net $50 on a $10 risk. That's a 500% return. So, again, this is a little caveat. I haven't really thrown this out there before. I had a trader, we were talking about it last week, and he's like, does it have to match? And So when I was like, really, it doesn't have to. I usually teach it that way because it's simpler to understand, but it doesn't have to, okay? But you definitely want to be aware of the range you expect so you can actually, have the potential to make some money if it does move. Now, a normal one, okay, would be like right here. So looking at this where they're touching, okay? See, floor 158.70, ceiling 158.70. They're matching. Now, the other thing I want you to be really aware of when you do these trades is, of course, you look at the combined risk. So we got $16. Pretty simple, okay? But one thing that is so easy to not see is that this is the exact wrong straddle to do. So, if you stare at my screen, if you've done this for a while, why, pop quiz, see if you can answer this, why, if you were going to do a straddle right now in pound yen, why would this be the wrong straddle? What's wrong with it? I mean, the risk is good. Reward is good. Why would this be the wrong straddle to, go in and do? Well, the reason is because look at the one right below it. It's the exact same amount of time till expiration. Okay? It's wider, which is going to be the key here in a second. The break-even distance is the exact same. The risk is the exact same. But the reward is significantly different. We're looking at a 35-to-1 reward-to-risk ratio versus a 13-to-1. And you're paying nothing for that. Again, you're paying absolutely nothing for that benefit. Okay? It literally costs you nothing. How is that possible? Why even have this one? Becomes the question. Well, the reason is the 1 to 3 o'clock spreads, the 2-hour-long spreads on the pound yen, are only $100 wide. They're 100 ticks in width, okay? The ones that started at 7 a.m. that go to 3 p.m. expiration are 250 pips wide. So the pound yen was basically at the same price when both of these started. That caused them to have the same floor and ceiling. And since they have the same amount of time till expiration, the same floor and ceiling, they're going to have the same price, which means they're going to have the same risk. It's just that the one that started at 7 is a wider spread because it's been trading longer. Think about it. They want to give you more room for more, obviously, potential volatility because there's more time for the market to potentially move on that trade. So if you were looking at two trades and they line up and they have the same risk and they have the same break-even distance and they have the same timed expiration, you're going to always choose the one that has more reward. Okay? Likewise, I'll see sometimes where they have the exact same risk, the exact same profit potential, they have the same break-even distance, but one has more time. Wow. Well, then I'm going to choose the one that has more time every time, right? So when all other factors are equal, find the one that's greater and choose that spread instead. And instead of having to hop between all the different spreads, the scanner shows it to you right there. No math, no calculating. I literally could go, wow, same break even, same this, that looks bigger. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at the reward-to-risk ratio. Already done for me. Makes it really, really simple. All right, stay there. We'll be right back after this break, and we'll talk about the other upcoming news announcements.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
It's that time of year again, and our semi-annual Tiger Dollar sale is back. For a limited time only, you can get a 25% bonus on any Tiger Dollar purchase, and included in your purchase, you'll gain access to an exclusive 4-hour live trading event with Tom O'Brien on November 19th called Strategies for Trading ETFs, a live trading event. The only way to gain access to this exclusive 4-hour workshop with Tom O'Brien, which includes live trading, is by purchasing Tiger Dollars as part of this promotion. Tiger Dollars can be used for any TFNN products and never expire, so now is a perfect time to get your 25% bonus. Don't delay, this will be our last Tiger Dollar promotion in 2013, so act today. For all the details and to get your 25% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase today while gaining access to Tom O'Brien's exclusive 4-hour online workshop and live trading session specifically on ETFs, visit the front page of TFNN.com today. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, welcome back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And we're just looking across some different markets. But again, we were on the pound dollar, and we were going through, and we were looking at, doing, different spreads and things like that. And so one of the things that I want you to, again, look at it. We got this pound announcement coming out with the rate statement. And so when that trade comes out, that gives you a lot of opportunity to go in and go, hey, is there a good trade here? Keep your risk in check. Okay, don't go and risk $70. I mean, sometimes that implied volatility will be huge, okay? And so you don't want to be risking $70 on this trade. So, again, keep your risk in check on the trade. And then what you want to do is, again, the trade comes out at, 7, right? Let's double-check that time, but I want to say 7 a.m. So, obviously, you can't use the 7 a.m. Spreads, okay? You can use the 10, the 11, the 3, or the 9, the 8, the 9, 8, 9. So you could use the 8 o'clock, you could use the 9 o'clock, I guess right after it. So you're really looking at the 8, 11, or 3 p.m. spreads or binaries. That's really going to be your choices, okay? So make sure you're looking at those. And I just want to go in and see what else we got. But again, a reminder for you, so have these stats, 80% of the time breaks 50 pips, and the average move on that trade is 85 for the pound, and about 90 for the pound yen. So you don't have to go for that full amount, okay? I'm usually shooting for a 1-to-1. So if I can get the thing in for $30, I mean, I'll be out really quick. It's okay. I'm just base hits all day long, okay? Yeah, I do have my home run trades I do, but you win with the base hits. Okay, that's your consistency. And that's what I'm going for on these trades. And let's see, what else do we have going on over here? We're going to have a little bit later that morning, we're going to have the ECB press conference, also the rate statement, unless they change the rate, which has happened. Draghi has surprised the market a couple times in the past couple years. But the rate statement comes out at 7:45, okay? So you could hop in and choose like a 9 o'clock expiration before that. Because that's usually, again, no rate change is expected. Now, they could raise the rate. They could lower the rate. If anything, they'd probably be more likely to lower it. But if they do lower it, it's going to explode. It's just, it's going to be a massive, 100, 200, who knows how many pip day. Okay? But that's not expected. However, what is expected, okay, is that we do get a pretty nice move off of the press conference. So usually with the press conference, we're usually getting somewhere between 75 and 80 pips on both the euro yen and euro dollar, okay? And over 80% of the time, it breaks 50 pips. So, keep your risk in check. So somewhere around, $45 to $50 on that trade. And when I say 45 to 50, I mean combined risk. I don't mean one side or the other. So one person thought at one point I meant that when I said $50 risk, I mean you could risk 50 on both sides. So, again, that's combined risk on both sides, okay? So like 23 on one, 22 on the other, that type thing. And then, let's see here. What else do we have? We also have the GDP coming out at the same time. Now, that's not my preferential announcement because it's not the same time that it normally comes out. It is, however, a big, important, high-impact announcement. But it's going to come at the exact same time that the press conference is firing off. So all this is going off at one time, and it'll come out at the same time as unemployment claims. So the press conference, GDP is going to come out, unemployment claims is going to come out, and then the ECB press conference is going to be going. So we're going to have some nice volatility on that. So you're going to be definitely make sure you give that time. You're looking at like the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, ideally even 3 o'clock potential spreads for doing some straddles on that. And I already gave you the ones for the euro yen and euro dollar. Looking at about 75 pips on those. But I would also want to make sure you have are the stats on the other ones. But again, euro yen, euro dollar, about 75 to 80 pips. Average range. If we go over look at some of the other pairs, the ones that are maybe worth looking at, really maybe pound dollar would be the only other one I'd add to that mix. So about 70 pips, but it's at 70% of the time it breaks 50 on the announcement. And think about it, we're already going to have a pretty massive pound move simply because of the pound interest rate coming out with the rate statement and all that coming out earlier, about an hour and a half earlier before that. So that's why you want to do that pound first, then looking at those euro in second, and get that plan going. The 3 p.m.s, by the way, if you want to check them out, they start trading at 7, okay? So you could actually get in as early as 7 o'clock, even though the announcement doesn't come out till 8:30. And let's see here. Trying to see what else. Okay, so the next one before that is going to be, or after that, I'm sorry, we have one more major announcement. There's a couple ways to play it, okay? And putting all that together for you, we're going to be looking at the NFP and unemployment, straddle, strangle. Basically, if we get, we're expecting a 7.3%, or not we, but just, the Economist poll, 7.3% NFP. Unemployment rate, looking at 126,000 on the non-farm employment change there. So if we got, like, say, 56,000 on NFP and we got a higher unemployment rate, the dollar should fall. Okay? They're going to start printing money. Dollar's going to get weaker. If we got a stronger NFP, like say 196,000, and let's just say the unemployment rate stayed flat or went lower, then we should expect the dollar to get significantly stronger. Okay? And the main pairs to look at on this, for me, are euro dollar, dollar franc, and pound dollar. They all have greater than 100 pip average range, high to low, within 2 hours after the announcement. Remember, that's a 2-hour stat, high to low within 2 hours after the announcement. And pound dollar, pound franc, basically 90% of the time break 50 pips. Euro dollar is broken 50 pips every time in the last couple of years on the NFP report. So those are the three that I trade. I usually trade all three, okay, on the NFP. Now, also, occasionally, not every time, but occasionally what will happen is you'll also get the Canadian employment numbers coming out at the same time. And when that happens, then you usually get a nice big move, 80-pip move on dollar CAD over 80% of the time when all these come together. So this is one of my favorite dollar CAD plays. So we got dollar CAD, dollar franc, basically dollar CAD 80-pip average range, dollar franc, pound dollar, euro dollar, about 100 pip or greater average move on these. So you can look at all four of those. You can spread your risk across them, get into them. And that's one of the great things about the scanner. When you're adding in all these different positions, you go in and you're able to easily match up all your take profit orders with your working orders or your open positions. And so get all your take profits in. And, you don't feel like you have to rush. This isn't like you're hopping in like a minute before the news, and then you got to put your take profits in like a second afterwards, okay? You may get in like 10, 20, 30 hours, potentially, before the news announcement. If you find a good risk reward, you put that trade on. Look at your risk, okay? Calculate your risk between the two, write it down or whatever, but calculate your risk between the two, and then make that money back plus the risk on the other side. So there are some other ways to do it, like a little shortcut trick with the ticket thing I'm working on with another trader. He's been showing me how to do this. It's pretty cool, but we're just trying to make sure it works consistently in every scenario. And if it does, then I'll share it with you, and we'll see which one's more or less confusing. But the bottom line is, I don't care if you have to pull out a pen and paper, you have to pull out an Excel sheet. You have time to figure out what a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio is. If I'm risking $40 on a trade, I need to net a $40 profit to have 1-to-1. And if I risk 20 on the long side and 20 on the short side, and it goes up, I should expect, obviously, to be profitable on the long side, but should expect to lose on the short side. So if I know I'm going to lose $20, but I need to net, meaning at the end have $40 more than I started with, it means I need to make 60 on the long side. Because I make 60 on the long side, I lose 20 on the short side, I net a $40 profit. Okay? But you have some time to figure that out. Just sit down, work it out. It's not as hard as you think. Just play with it. But, demo trade it. It didn't cost anything. Okay? And but these are some of the sweetest reports that are coming out over the next couple of days. And I hope you wrote all that down. Go back, listen to the archive. But these are some awesome news trades. And I look forward to hearing from some of you when I get back about how they went for you. Okay? Now, that wraps up our news right there for the week. Now, as far as next week, we really don't have a lot going on. Don't forget, on Monday, we got Veterans Day. So make sure you do show your appreciation. Call up loved ones, let them know that you appreciate them. And we got Canada, got Remembrance Day going on. So that's going to mean the banks are going to be closed. The exchanges and stuff are still open. But, obviously that's going to lower liquidity, which can have some weird, funky volatility going on. Okay? And then on Tuesday, we're going to have the UK CPI number. That's going to come out. Usually a pretty decent move on that report. So a nice strong number coming into Tuesday morning. So look forward to that report right there. Again, Tuesday morning, UK CPI. You're looking at it's a 428 technically announcement. You're looking for about a 70 to 80 pip move on pound dollar and pound yen. Okay? And pound dollar actually has the higher probability out of the two, though. So out of the two, I'd be able to focus on pound dollar because 70% of the time it breaks 50 pips with a 70 pip high to low average range within 2 hours after the announcement. Pound yen, only 54% of the time does it break 50 pips. But it has an 80 pip high to low average range. So when it moves huge. But half the time, it doesn't even move 50 pips. Okay? So pound dollar is definitely my pick for the 4:30 announcement. The UK CPI on Tuesday morning, this coming Tuesday morning. Wednesday, you're going to have climate count change and unemployment rate, and on the pound, that'll cause a little volatility. Then the Bank of England governor is going to speak a little bit later. That'll cause some volatility. So, yeah, that'll have some pretty good volatility on the pound on Wednesday early morning. And then Thursday, we're going to have another straddle strangle. Pound is really the big one, man. It's a volatile pair. And you're going to be looking for about a 70 pip high to low on the pound retail sales coming out at 4:30 on Thursday. That is literally your news announcements for next week, like the big ones. We'll have unemployment claims. We'll have CAD manufacturing like on Friday. But Tuesday and Thursday, you got 2 pound announcements. And I know a lot of traders are actually starting to go in and put these on at midnight. And, like 2 out of 3 of them have worked out really, really well for them. They'll go in and they'll put them on, straddles or strangles. And they'll just, they'll go in at midnight and buy and sell at 7 a.m., either, spreads or, binaries. Straddle or strangle the trade, set their take profits, and go to sleep. So you don't have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to trade these, okay? You can literally put your order in, your risk is already capped, set your take profits. And no, you can do anything if you're sitting right there anyway. So besides maybe try to manage and get out of the trade. But, they've worked out really well. And like I said, this is sort of nice. You don't have to be up. And, if you wanted to, you could get up maybe like right at 4:30 and look at your phone for 5 minutes to see if the thing's moving or you need to get out. But that way you're not going to think about getting in, setting take profits, trying to get your mind really working. But most of the ones I know, the guys just put them on and they wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock and the trade's done and they ideally see profit in their account. That's been working pretty well, thus far. So check those out. Maybe even demo trade that, sort of the nighttime trades. But the pound one coming up on Thursday is not that late. So again, that's a 7 a.m. release. Okay, so that's not like a 4:30 release. And even if it was, it'd be worth getting up for. But anyways, big announcements right there. That also covers next week for you. So again, just Tuesday and Thursday, the pound trades there. And that's all of our news. We've covered it. Now, by the way, one of the things I was going over on the scanner was pulling up, and I said pull up, say the 2 things you'd be looking at, pound dollar as well. So let's say if we're going over to the pound dollar, then, we may try to see, what can we match up, what would be good. There's a 60-90, a 60-90. You may see is there any other ones that look, like potentially good trades. So right there. So one of those 2 may be your choice. And, in this case, on the pound dollar, I may actually choose to go with the narrower spread simply because I have lower risk and I have much lower break-even distance. So, but mainly because I have lower risk. So instead of risking 25, I'm only risking 14. And so even though I could make more money if the market just really took off, you know what? If I only expect the thing to move 80 pips, do I care if there's 290 pips of profit potential, right? If I have 145 pips of profit potential, that is more than enough for my trade. So in this case, I would actually choose the narrower one on the pound dollar, okay? Simply because, again, the risk is lower on the trade, and therefore there's no reason for me to go on and take on a higher risk with really no payout. Now, remember earlier, even though I wouldn't expect the pound yen to, say, move as far as was potentially in that trade, who cares? It doesn't cost me anything. So I'm going to take, the wider one because the cost was the exact same on the pound yen. All right, stay there. We'll be right back after this break.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. Funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Basil Chapman has just announced that he will be hosting a one-day online master trader class. Friday, November 8th, Basil Chapman will teach you the essential fundamentals he uses when trading the market with his Chapman Wave methodology. Included in this full-day online master trader class is 1 month of Basil's daily newsletter service, The Opening Call, a $128 value, as well as a copy of his CD book introducing the Chapman Wave methodology, which usually sells for $249. Join Basil Chapman for this powerful one-day online master trader class Friday, November 8th, which will be archived if you can't attend live, where he'll give you a complete understanding of the Chapman Wave methodology and how to apply it to profitably trade any market in any time frame. For all the details and to reserve your spot while taking advantage of early bird pricing and saving $200 off the regular price, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Have you subscribed to the Gold Report yet? On Wednesday, August 14th and Thursday, August 15th, Tom O'Brien advised his Gold Report subscribers to close out 6 of their 9 open positions, all winning trades ranging from a 10.69% profit to an incredible 48% profit in just one equity. Tom O'Brien brings an incredible wealth of knowledge and experience to the gold market and the equities within the industry. That's almost 12 years since this powerful newsletter first began. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Gold Report by visiting TFNN.com. Make sure you're a subscriber as this volatile gold market makes its way back into positive territory after declining all the way from $1,900 to under $1,200 an ounce in only 2 years. Get your 30-day free trial today by visiting TFNN.com.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, so as a review, you'll go in, you'll do the pound dollar, you do the pound yen. You'll have that ready, for like an 8 or 9 or 11 or 3 o'clock expiration tomorrow, and review both of those. And then as soon as you're done with that trade, and once you put it on, let it go, move on. Next trade, euro dollar, euro yen. Get ready for that one. Start looking it up. See what all's laid out there, okay? When that's done, then on Friday morning, you're going to hop up. You're going to pull up the euro dollar, the pound dollar. You're going to pull up the, let's see, we got the euro dollar, we got the pound dollar, and we're also going to look at the dollar franc on this trade, and we're going to have the dollar CAD because the CAD announcement's coming out. So those are the 4 instruments that you're going to select. You're going to have $100 and a 1-to-1. You're going to go in here. You're going to scroll down. You're going to find the best possible price straddles. And again, think about your ranges. Okay, I may be okay with paying, a $20 risk instead of a $10 risk if I expect the thing to move 80 pips. So I don't have to go for the lowest risk if I can get a lot more time for a little bit more money. Last time we had NFP, I did dollar franc, and I had the 3 PMs, and I only put in like $4 or $5 more for it. It was ridiculous. Instead of having like the 10 o'clock expiration, I had the 3 p.m. expiration, and I was able to ride that thing all day long. And again, think about what your ranges are, and sometimes it's worth putting in another $5, $10, $20 risk. Now, when I say 5, 10, 20, obviously, I'm not doing just one contract, okay? So you may multiply that times 10, 20, 100, how many ever you like to do. But I can put in a little bit of additional risk and get a lot more time. That means if this thing really does just go in one direction, I don't have to just have that 1-to-1. And I can take off, like at 1-to-1, I can take off half and then be ready to close the other half if it starts pulling back. Depending upon your comfort and your level of technical analysis to be able to ride the trend, because you don't want to give it all back. But if you do have the ability to really read charts, you think you got a good handle on that, take off half at 1-to-1, take off half at double, okay? And then the other half, just ride that as far as you can. And if you don't want to worry about it, take off all of it at 1-to-1. Double your money, be done for the day, okay? And but select all 4 of those instruments. It'll let you scroll down, find the best ones. Start as early as you can. The earliest you can start is 7. But you may not find at 7. You may find one at 8 or 8:15, So just be looking up and down across the different ones to find the best ones. And, of course, I like to distribute my risk across multiple currency pairs. So that way, in case, the dollar CAD's a flop, then I'll be okay because I got 3 other pairs. Or let's say the dollar CAD, explodes, but the other, 3 really just barely break even. Well, then I make some money in the dollar CAD. So just by, spreading that risk out a little bit. So let's say if you're going to risk $500 or, you can put $125 on each. And, so if that's $10 risk, and then, that'd basically be 12 contracts, right? So that you could do on the trades there. So anyways, just check that out, start playing with it. And like I said, just start hitting the buttons on demo. Use the scanner to help you. Just go through the motions, and you'll be surprised how much easier this is than you think it is after you do just a couple of them. I had one student, we were going back and forth for weeks trying to get it all together. Finally, I was like, just place the trades. And she put them on. She's like, oh, that was so much easier. It's like, just so nervous. I'm like, because it's just demo. It's like, just put the trade in. And as soon as you put the trade in, it made complete sense. So a lot of this stuff is, it's stuck in your head. It doesn't make sense until you actually go in and do it. Okay? All right. So that gets us all caught up on the news. We got that wrapped up. You got your plan for the week. So plan your trades and then trade your plan. And I hope y'all have a great week. Stay tuned. We have another great show coming up for you right after this.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.